Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be my 5 top favorite and least favorite eyeshadow palettes of all time. This was requested by Bailey Porter on Instagram, so shout out to her for this cool idea. I have used many eyeshadow palettes, and I do tend to like most eyeshadow palettes, but I do have a few that are very, very shitty. So I'm going to start with my favorites and then go into the ones I don't like. So my first favorite palette is the Urban Decay Electric palette. I actually used this palette for the look I did today. I've had this palette for, there's like shadow all over it, for like a really long time. This was one of the first colorful eyeshadow palettes I ever purchased, and honestly these shades are amazing. This orange is so good. This pink is one of my favorites. I've used this silver to shit for dance recitals. I love this blue color and this green color and that. I just love all the colors. This is a really amazing eyeshadow palette, and I think they discontinued it, to be honest. But I'm not really sure, and if they did, that's pretty unfortunate because this palette is so good. Like, these are the best bright shades ever. I don't really have any problems with this palette at all. They stain my eyes, but I don't really care. If it performs well, I'll take the stained eyes. So yeah, this is my first favorite. My next favorite eyeshadow palette is another colorful palette, and it is the Morphe 35B palette. This palette is really amazing. It has all of the colors in the rainbow. My favorite shades are obviously all this area. This bright pink is so good. This orange is amazing. This is awesome. These are so good. The blues in here are amazing, and I really just like love this palette. It was super cheap and affordable, and yeah, it's always sold out on the Morphe website. So if you have a chance to get this palette, definitely buy it because it is so amazing. My next palette is a very popular palette. I'm sure you can guess what it is. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. This palette is bet to shit. My palette, it has hit pan on basically every single shade in it. I love this palette. I also ordered the Subculture palette, even though there's all these negative reviews, because I really want to try it, so I will be doing videos on that. My favorite shades in this palette, Love Letter, definitely. It's a single shadow now, so I need to go buy it. Primavera is a favorite. Red Ochre, Realgar, Red, oh, I already said that, Venetian Red. I really love every single color in this palette. The only color that I really don't use that much is Tempera, because it's supposed to be like a matte, you know, all over lid shade, but for me it's way too dark. But if you're anything darker than me, which everyone's darker than me, you will enjoy that. So yes, I love this palette. I need to buy a new one of this because as you can see, I'm hit panning on every single color in the palette. My next favorite is the Lime Crime Venus palette. This is my second favorite palette of all time, and it's funny because it looks like I haven't even used it, but the shades are just that pigmented. Obviously, Aura, I've used so much of it because it's my favorite. I like it for highlighting. I love it for just on the lid. It's so good. This Muse color is like such a nice pinky red, and Rebirth is definitely like one of my favorites. This is a really good dark brown. The only color in this palette I don't really use is Divine. Not really into like purpley mauves, to be honest, but it is a really amazing palette and you definitely need this. I also love the Venus too, but I couldn't fit it in here, but that's my honorary mention. That's my 6th favorite palette. And my top favorite palette of all time, I'm sure you can all guess, even though I only got it recently, is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This palette is the best palette I've ever used. These shadows are unmatchable. I've done 3 looks using this palette. I'd love to do more because honestly, I could do looks for like the rest of my life with this palette because there's so many. I love it so much. Like, the formula is unlike any other formula I've ever used before. It's not like the same Morphe formula at all. It's so nice. Let me just swatch some of these shades. I'm going to swatch Faint. I'll swatch, what's that? Sissy. I'll swatch Pool Party. And I'll swatch Queen. Look at these colors. Do you see that? That is just like unreal. And the mattes in this palette are just as pigmented and amazing. My top favorite color in the palette, this palette is huge, sorry, is Hunts. I love this. It's like a red orange. It's not completely red, but it's so nice. Like, it's so good. That palette is amazing. I did not even expect to love it as much as I did. Like, I knew I'd like it, but it bet every other palette. It's my all-time favorite. You need to buy it. She's restocking it this month, so keep your eyes out for the Morphe website to see when they're going to relaunch it, and you need to get it because it is so good. Like, amazing. The only issue I have is the white packaging, but I really don't give a shit about the packaging because the palette is so good. Now on to the palettes that I do not like. The first one is the Tartelette palette. Mine looks pretty beat up because it's been in my collection for a while, but I haven't really used it that much. These are the colors. They're just kind of like boring as fuck. Neutral colors. I hate neutrals. Like, I really do. If you are new to makeup or you're young and you don't like bright colors, you probably will like this palette. The formula is not the best, but it's not the worst. I just really don't like the colors in there. I do like the Tartelette in Bloom a little bit more. Okay, sorry, my camera died and I had to go charge the battery real quick. I was talking about the Tartelette palette. I do like the Tartelette in Bloom palette more, but I still don't love that palette, to be honest. Tarte shadows aren't that great. They're nothing amazing or anything. I don't know, I don't really recommend that palette, honestly, because it's really expensive. If you want to get really boring neutrals, you can get them at the drugstore. The next palette is the Urban Decay Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. And the packaging on this palette is so nice. And honestly, the colors aren't bad. I love this green and I love this lily shade and Heads Will Roll. But the colors aren't very pigmented and they don't really stick to your eyes. I really wanted this palette to work for me because, like, look at this. The packaging is so nice. The palette just fell out. But, yeah, no, it didn't really work for me. I'm happy that I have it to look at because it's so pretty, but it didn't really work out that well for me, unfortunately, so that sucks. Next is the Kylie Valentine's Day Diary palette. This palette arrived broken. Look, it's broken inside there. I'm not gonna open that anymore. But yeah, it came broken and I tried to fix it. Anyway, that palette was such a fucking waste of money. The shadows are so shitty. I don't really like Kylie shadows. I also don't like the Holiday palette, but I cannot find mine. I probably like fucking threw it out. But the Kylie Holiday palette's also shit. The only Kylie palette that I do like is the Kylie Burgundy palette. That palette is really good. But the other ones I don't like at all, to be honest. The next palette I've spoke about before, and it is the Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette. I fucking hate Jeffree Star so much. This palette, not good at all. The only thing that's okay is kind of the pink, but the pink is still dry as fuck. Somebody wants this palette from me, hit me up. I'll give it to you for free because I don't fucking want it. Fuck. I forgot my Nikkie palette. Okay, so the Nikkie and Too Faced palette is an honorary mention for this because that palette's really shitty. I think I might have thrown it out because I cannot find it anywhere. So yeah, that's also not a good palette. I don't know if it's even available anymore, so I don't think you need to worry about buying it. And the last palettes that I hate, and I'm sure you can guess what they are the Urban Decay Naked palettes. I hate these palettes so much. If you know me, you know I hate these palettes. As you can see, I've hit pan on some of them because I had this palette when I was 14. So I used them. And there's not much in there. But these palettes don't blend, they don't stick. The pigmentation is so bad, and they were just overhyped in general. There are so many better eyeshadows. Makeup Geek shadows are better. ColourPop shadows are way better. What else? Anything. Any eyeshadows are better than them. I also have the Naked 3 palette. Oh look, it's broken inside. That's nice. Haven't opened it in like years. And yeah, no, those palettes are shitty. So guys, that's really everything I have to say. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any other video requests, please leave them down below. Sorry if I seem kind of off in this video. I'm filming in my laundry room and people keep passing by and looking at me and I'm like super stressed about it. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have the best day and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe below if you enjoyed this video. Thank you and have a great day.